Ancient Japan at 60 frames per second, that's the promise of the PlayStation 5.
They said it couldn't be done.
And yet here it is.
And yet here we are.
A very good looking PlayStation 4 game running at twice the frame rate on this $499 console. Or $399.
Yeah, hey, maybe you're a digital individual.
That's right.
And you're running in the higher resolution mode, and yet it still runs well. They have done some work, I guess, some work to the game to make it do that on a PlayStation 5. Damn good looking game, and
really
it's nice to
even on the PS4. I think this is just like art wise, graphics wise, up there among best looking of the year. But so. Not to get too behind the scenes, into the sausage making process too much here, but keeping up with cross-gen games and how they are and are not being updated and what is being changed has been, let's say, a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, this is podcast chatter for sure, but
and that's not limited
launch
to
of
PS5. That's Xbox as well.
Yes, the launch of these two consoles have been... Okay, do you remember when the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X were coming out? In the weeks leading up to those launches, it was a constant checking in process of like, hey, when's your Pro patch going to hit? Hey, when's Titanfall getting updated? When's this happening? When's this going to happen? And the answer was always at the last possible moment.
Yes.
And
that is no shade on our contacts who have been helping us out with the stuff.
Oh,
I know that
absolutely.
I know all the moving parts, especially with everybody at home right now, are like a lot to deal with. So it's not like they're not like holding back on us or anything. It's just anyway. The whole reason I bring that up is to say that in this particular case, I don't know what the difference is here, but what I'm getting at is if I put it on better frame rate, still 60.
Yeah,
if I put it back on,
does that turn off any effects? I guess is the question.
You're right that it may have. It's possible this game can just do 60 at the higher resolution on the PS5. Actually,
yeah, I think that's probably, if I had to guess, and I am
just
guessing.
In front of this monitor, now that you mention it, this does look a little sharper on higher resolution, but that's kind of the point is, like, they didn't come out and tell us exactly what those two modes do or if they do anything. Like, this game still is listed as a PS4 game in the PS5 interface.
Yeah, it's not like they're like, hey, now it's on PlayStation 5 and it's native to all that stuff. It's like, it just seems like they did some work to the PS4 version of this game to let it take advantage of, whatever hardware it's running on a little bit better.
God, this game looks
some
good.
cases where like, it's like if a game's got a mode where it just has an uncapped frame rate mode, if you throw more power at it, theoretically, that should help in the backwards compatibility scenario, but...
this is a terrible idea. I haven't played this game in months. Also, I've got it on that difficulty mode they patched in later that's like lethal mode or whatever, where you basically die in one hit.
Well, that's dumb.
So,
here show some load times when you die, I guess.
Let's see what happens here. I super don't remember how to play this game.
Okay, you got those two guys, now fight the rest.
Okay, I could end his suffering, but how do you parry? What is the parry? That's not the parry.
Yeah.
That's not the parry.
All right, well, you broke them.
That'll work.
You fought without honor, right? True. I just want to say,
this is a battle without honor or humanity.
So true.
Is this parry? Oh,
nope. Yeah, no.
There it is.
Yeah, you stuck him.
So honestly, that mode actually is pretty badass because like you die real fast, which kind of sucks, but it makes the combat, if you're very good at the parries, it makes the combat like lightning fast because everybody else dies in one hit too.
I was gonna say, that was like some Assassin's Creed type shit. They're just like, I tapped this button 4 times and they're all dead.
There's basically no like whittling people's health down on this mode. It is just like you parry or die, and if you parry, then everything else dies.
That's cool.
It's like kind of neat. Let's get past this and maybe fast travel around a little bit.
Yeah. This is installed to your
internal
drive. Okay.
Internal drive on the PS5. Oops, that is not the map button. That is. See what's going on up here. I will say, like, the load times were very fast in this game on the PS4.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel like I've seen as much difference here as I may have in some other stuff. Maybe, you know, a second or two or something like that. Like, there, you know, there's, you still see a load screen, but like, I think we've talked about this elsewhere. My gut feeling is that games that are not designed to take advantage of the new storage probably don't take advantage of it as well. If that makes sense.
I'm sure that there's got to be some optimization that you can do to, you know, get the assets off that drive more efficiently or whatever than maybe it was built for the PS4.
But, yeah, or, you know, I guess to put it in starker terms, I mean, we can talk about Miles Morales right now.
Right.
As of this video posting, Miles Morales loads way faster than this game.
It's kind of insane,
and it has way more going on graphically than this does. So, like, the point is, like, I wouldn't take these load times here to be indicative of everything the system can do, because we have certainly seen faster out of native games.
Yes.
That said, still pretty fast and pretty smooth.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, and this is a great looking game that I still haven't finished. Like you're still in Act 1. I'm not much further past you, honestly.
Yeah, I'm on the last mission to move on to the next island, but I kind of got bogged down just trying to clear out all the map, and it turned out in the process of doing everything on this island, I kind of fell off the game.
Yep, that's exactly So that's how it went for me. Is I did damn near everything on this first area, and then moved ahead and saw a map fill up with another million different side activities that looked a lot like the ones I had just been doing for a really long time, and I was like, you know, maybe I'll take a break from this one.
Yeah. But you know, all that said, like, this might be enough to bring me back. I don't know if I'd finish it. You know, I might burn out again, but like faster load times, especially better frame rate and stuff. Like, I might come back to this. Actually, this is pretty rad.
I may as well. I've definitely been thinking that, like, oh, you know, maybe when I kind of get through Spider-Man and a couple other things, like maybe I'll spend some more time with this.
I think this game,
I was having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is maybe a little bit of a special case of, like, this is probably going to be less rad for games that you finished two or 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, that's more of a novelty, whereas, like, this still feels like a new game that I was in the midst of playing, so there's some actual...
Yeah, I think that's definitely some cases where, you know, like over on the Xbox or something, you got like a Gears 5, and you're like, wow, this looks really nice. Like, you know, it looked... But I played Gears 5 all the way through, and I played it on the PC where it looked great too, and I don't know that that's something I will go back to. I guess if you're into the multiplayer there, that's probably a draw, but... But yeah, you know, you have cases like that where it's like, hey, I already finished this campaign, and I'm not going to go back and do it again, other than to look at it for 10 minutes and go, wow, the shadows look better or whatever. But it's nice to, I guess, I feel smart for not having finished this game yet.
Sure. Ah, this game looks good.
Yeah, it does.
All right, that's probably enough of that.
Yeah, let's move on.
Nice locked frame rate, you know, nice and sharp. It's pretty impressive. But it did take a patch, you know. When we got these review PS5s and this thing did not run like this. It ran like a PS4 game.
Yeah, so they've done a little work to this one.
Yes, so as of right now, we still can't show the system interface of this console. I'm just going to fade over here for a second.
Okay, well, while you fade over there, we can talk about the UI and say that while I think it is pretty, if you look at the video that Sony put out, you can look at it yourself and see if you think it is pretty or not. I think that they have made some somewhat serious mistakes in how they have moved things around and how they cluster different products from the same game together. Whether you played a demo or a beta, they all kind of cluster into one tile in a way that can be frustrating.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the PS5 UI is absolutely the low point of the PS5 experience overall. I mean, the controller is badass. The games have been, that we can talk about, pretty impressive so far.
Yeah, totally.
And then to put that in context, I think the PS4 interface is one of the better console interfaces in video games. Like, it's
very effective.
It's very straightforward and snappy. It's really easy to get around and do exactly what you want to do. And like, there is significant functionality that's not here that was there in the PS4, and then there's stuff that is here but is like much fiddlier to get to, you know, more menus to slog through.
Totally. It's stuff like you know, just looking at a trophy that's a hidden trophy and viewing what the description is like, it's just more button presses now. I think the trophy display stuff, now that they've made it horizontal instead of vertical and you have to button into it, I think that it is notably worse.
Yeah. We'll get into that stuff more when we can show it. A lot easier to show rather than tell. But I hope some updates are coming to the UI on this thing, because it can be kind of a chore to get things done.
So we did inquire if there was going to be another firmware update before launch, because I was wondering, like, man, I wonder if they're going to fix any of this stuff. And we were told that this should be the launch day firmware, or damn close to it.
We are basically having the launch experience. That said, like, I don't know if you remember the PS4 UI evolved a decent bit over the first 2-3 years.
Yeah, it did.
Like, not in huge ways, but they added a lot of shortcuts and other nicer ways to get around and do stuff. So I am hopeful that they are open to the same thing.
Yeah, it's just weird because so much of, if you go into any deep level menu or the overall just system settings and stuff, it's all the same PS4 stuff. It really is just a fresh coat of paint over the top of the PS4 UI.
Yes.
But that coat of paint is poo-poo brown. That's maybe a little harsh, but it is a worse coat of paint than what was on the PS4.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. For sure.
Days Gone, huh?
A good number of things that I encounter it and I'm just like, why would you make this decision? Why would you put things like that or there?
Yeah.
Or why would you make me do this and this and this just to do this simple thing?
You have made this worse in some ways.
Yes. Why would you not just let me access the cloud saves for a game from that game, for example?
Like you can on a PlayStation 4, for example.
Right.
It's insane.
Where you just hit...
I just downloaded all my cloud saves so I would never have to think about it. I was just like, well, screw it. I'm just going to download every cloud save I have. Forget the part where the PS4 hard drive really doesn't have enough space for me to be just wasting it on saves for games I'll never play. Yeah. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that soon when we can actually show it.
Yeah. But that has been pent up in me for over a week now. You and I have not had a long conversation about that yet, and boy, I want to.
Yes, it is frustrating the hell out of me. And again, like the entire rest of the PS5 experience has been super impressive to me. It is pretty rad from top to bottom, except for that system UI.
The load times on Spider-Man and Astro's Playroom, which I think are kind of mostly what we talk about now, are crazy. It is crazy. Speaking of crazy, Speaking of crazy, you've loaded up Days Gone.
So, to be clear, this is the first time I'm seeing this update. I heard I heard this had gotten an update as well as Ghost of Tsushima. So, in fact, I had heard from people in the press that it was a very impressive update, and so here we are.
Okay.
I mean, I want to.
I'll take care of that. A person we've been talking with over at PlayStation said, "Hey, Days Gone took a patch."
Yes. I would want to see every PS4 game that got a specific update at this point.
Absolutely. But I don't remember enough about Days Gone to tell you how much different this is.
Yeah.
Pretty forgettable.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I thought it was all right. Thought it was a perfectly kind of competent open world zombie game, but
yeah, I guess it kind of just came out in a world where there are a lot of those, and Sony was in the process of, getting ready to put out Last of Us 2.
Yes.
I was just like, what do we...
Frame rate not helping my aim
Sony,
much.
the zombie people. I don't know.
How do you melee in this game? There it is.
There you go.
Down you go.
Found it.
Yes, it's been a while.
20 XP.
Yes, it's been a while. Anyway, I mean, we're capturing this at 1080p, of course, right now, so...
So you are set to 1080p. You're not ingesting 4K.
Yes, the console is putting out 1080p right now, but this looks very sharp. I mean, I'm not. My eyes are not cybernetic. I can't say for sure, but it kind of looks to me like maybe a 4K image downsampled to 1080. Like it looks very nice, very, very, not much.
Yeah, I will say that's definitely. Seen some cases of like, hey, this game looks just like a tinge sharper, even in cases where it maybe doesn't perform that differently from the old console.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, okay, this is just like you can tell it is a higher resolution or something. Like some aspect of it is definitely running cleaner.
Looks very nice. Like this console seems like a beast. Just in terms of horsepower from what we have seen. I mean, honestly, they both do, Like,
yeah,
these
definitely.
consoles, like, whatever quibbles you have about UI or, like, you know, games getting updated and being confusing and no games being out at launch or very few, like...
Yeah, that's just all right now stuff.
Yeah, but the base level hardware capabilities of both of these boxes seem fucking badass to me.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to more games, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I guess... Like,
that's been the kind of hard thing on the Xbox side is... You know, looking at... Sorry, I'm trying to think about when this is going up. So, okay, yeah, we can definitely talk about Xbox stuff, right?
Yes.
So, yay!
Hey, look at that.
You know, to me, the one game that stuck out on the Xbox side as, like, looking really great was Forza Horizon 4. A game that, you know, is not new, but damn, it looks good.
Yes.
And...
Oh, I can't fast travel, can I? Don't think.
You know, get on a motorcycle, you want to fast travel. I don't know.
I left my chopper all the way over here.
A huge mistake.
How deep did you get into this? Because if I remember, I think losing your motorcycle is like a big part of the story.
Oh, nice. I did not, when we got codes for this, I did not receive one.
Oh.
We passed it off to other people to do stuff with. So this is the most I've seen of shipping.
Okay.
Like final Days Gone.
Well, this is probably enough without checking out other parts of the game.
Yeah.
Fast travel load times and stuff like that. Looks very sharp, smooth, doing pretty much the...
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Ghost of Tsushima situation. Why don't we swap over to... drum roll.
Okay.
Wait, nope. Case in point, hit the wrong button to get to my games.
Don't you dare try to hold down the PlayStation button at the main menu. What are you trying to do? That's
not what that does. Here we go. I haven't confirmed with anybody at Sony, but this is my guess of what is going on with this game, because I don't believe it has gotten a specific PS5 patch.
Yeah.
But I think you had the same issue with this game that I did, that it has a performance mode, but it is a wildly inconsistent performance mode.
Definitely.
Remember that?
It does not perform
to
my needs.
Like I'll take a locked 30 over a super erratic like 40 to 60 any day just because it's ugh.
I think my situation with this ended up being given the choice between like a locked 30 and the kind of uncapped frame rate that was kind of all over the place, but not
great either.
I opted to not want to play this game anymore.
I
didn't. I was not having a good enough time with it, I guess.
Yeah. I also fell off of it, not entirely because I didn't like it. It was a variety of factors, but at any rate,
this game always seemed neat. But I just did.
I admire a lot of things they did with it, but I wanted to load it up here because, again, I believe what they are doing, and somebody who knows more can correct me if I'm wrong, but where do they actually put that?
Probably video.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, so I am on the performance mode. So my understanding of this game on the PS4 Pro is that it had an uncapped mode, like I said. And my guess is that the net effect of now running that uncapped mode on a faster console is just much more consistent performance.
It's boost mode, baby.
Kinda, yeah, because the frame rate is basically able to just kind of go wild, I think.
That makes some logical sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm nodding over here. You're saying that, and I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, no, they really do be like that.
I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong about that.
Also, what you're saying makes sense to me.
Also, I have not played like a ton of this to confirm that it's like super duper smooth everywhere.
Right.
But it sure feels smoother than my memory of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And, I think, either way, maybe people will be interested in seeing how a game like this would run.
Yeah.
Even,
This is an, as far as we know, unpatched PS4 game. So worth taking a look at here. I guess these these enemies do respawn. Okay. How well do I remember
just
anything
one combat
about this
system
game?
after another?
Okay, triangle is axe? No. How do you throw axe?
Isn't like a hold L2? Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Triangle, call axe back. That's right.
Yeah.
That's part of this game.
Well, then you should play I can't even finish the joke. I was going to say you should play Marvel's Avengers as Thor because he also has this ability. But you know what?
I'll bring him down.
Don't.
Okay. I'll heed your advice.
I'm set.
Boy. Dodge in this game is not the same as dodge in Dark Souls, apparently.
Nope. Yeah. But I will say that Avengers is a game with pretty horrendous load times.
Okay.
That I did install it to the internal drive on the PS5 and found it to load significantly quicker.
Okay. That's
not
promising.
full on SSD native fast like like Miles Morales or any of that other stuff, but those load screens, it was like set your controller down, walk away, turn to another monitor and do something else for a while and then look back and go, oh, is it almost done? Is it done? Okay. It seemed quite a bit faster to me for whatever that's worth. I don't know that I would, doesn't change my recommendation on the overall game, but good to see the SSD. I think that's always the thing, like, like people have been jamming SSDs into consoles for a lot of the last generation, but in a lot of cases it felt like just the rest of the system architecture was not necessarily set up to fully take advantage of what that meant.
Yes.
And so
too many other bottlenecks.
Yeah, you would get some brute force improvements by doing that, but it was never quite
the end of one. The road once lost.
Quite the performance boost that an SSD kind of should be.
Yeah. Yeah, everything I've seen of this, the little bit I've played of it, just loading some old saves up, like it certainly seems quite smooth.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which, I know like Ghost of Tsushima sort of makes me more likely to come back and play it at some point.
Yeah.
Kind of, in fact, makes me glad I didn't finish it before, because if I do go back and play it, it will certainly be more playable.
Right, of course.
Alright. Probably enough of this.
Yeah. God of War.
Trying to stress the frame rate here a little bit. Okay. Do another switch here. To... What's it gonna be? Maybe a more modern game?
Yeah, I want to see this. I fired up Genshin Impact on my PS4 Pro around the time that I started playing it on PC and just took a look at it and went like, well, this doesn't link to the other platforms where I already have progress and characters and all this other stuff, so already the deal's off. But on top of that, the performance is really not great.
Pretty rough.
This at least solves, well, this may solve one of those things. Have you run this at all? Have you seen
haven't.
this at all?
No,
okay, so...
well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We will discover it for ourselves. Still...
but yeah, since Sony has not approved any internal SSDs for use in that expansion port, I went out and picked up a 2 terabyte external SSD, one of those Western Digital blacks that look all fucking grim, dark Watch Dogs future. As if a hard drive could look edgy, that's what they've gone for, and that's been pretty nice for loading PS4 games. It is not quite as fast as the internal drive, but considering that internal drive space is in very high demand.
Yeah, it sure is.
And very hard to come by, as it is not a full terabyte, and these games are big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got VSync turned off there, right? Yeah.
Oh, God. Why would a console game have a user-controllable VSync option? Also,
close is probably off, right?
I don't know.
Close is...
I don't actually know. Probably.
Well, see if there's motion blur, because motion blur is set to open, and so we can determine it that way.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, VSync is definitely off.
Yeah, I can even see that from this end.
Ooh, yes. So that should be like the smoothest we can get it, presumably. Okay, this does not appear to be affected much.
Interesting.
Maybe a little bit? I actually don't know. I didn't play enough of this game on the PS4 to say for sure. Like, it's very clearly.
But it's still not necessarily like, hey, check it out, it's fully stable or anything like that.
It's definitely not, it's not 60 or anything like that, but
Yeah.
even if it was just a lock 30, that's better, At least that is consistent.
Right.
But who can say? This doesn't look like it
Open that VSync, and I don't know.
affected all that much.
Yeah. If they ever tie this into the other versions of the game and I can bring my progress over, I would, and patch it to run natively on a PS5 so that it runs, well.
Yeah, that's crucial.
Then I would play this version of the game.
For how successful it's been, I would kind of be shocked if they didn't.
Right.
I don't know. Not impossible that they won't put out a PS5 version, but
yeah.
Of course, I don't know how successful the PS4 version has been. Like they were out there touting their,
right,
100 million plus players or whatever it is, but who knows if, maybe 90% of those are on mobile for all we know.
Yeah, well, that's almost certainly the game. Well, maybe not 90, but like...
Yeah, I had the majority for sure. Yeah.
Runs pretty good,
And PC.
Like, the game runs better on my phone than it does on a PS4.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to play some more of this. Hopefully, maybe they'll update it. And can you just... Is there fall damage? Okay.
There is, but anyway.
All right, so not a ton to see here.
Yeah, you only have one character. You haven't even...
Yeah. Right, I mean, even just for me, like, it's a techno
but also,
perspective,
yes.
just kind of pretty samey. And honestly, outside those handful of games that we showed off just now, like, that's been my experience so far with games.
Right, is that most games just kind of run the same. It's not necessarily some... I'm sure there'll be some other games maybe that have PlayStation Pro, like 4 Pro versions that have that kind of graphics option. Seems like that's where the benefit lies, is if it's got that graphics option, you may be in luck.
Right. Versus a game like
a lot
this,
of these
that's capped at 30, and probably I haven't fired this up yet, so we're about to discover.
Yeah.
Oh no, pardon me.
Fucking Mr. Rossetti is here to eviscerate you.
Man, Eldritch Mr. Rossetti is a horrifying concept.
Yeah. Yeah, the PS5 does not make use of the Huchi method.
No.
Am I pronouncing that right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I wonder if you can connect to the servers from this console. I would assume
my experience playing online video games on these machines has been fine.
Okay.
I've played some Call of Duty, for example.
Okay.
Modern Warfare, the PS4 version, running on...
Pretty fast load time.
Yep.
This game launched with god-awful load times, and they got those down pretty significantly with patches, but that was, by Bloodborne standards, I believe, pretty fast. I would say.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm in that god-awful DLC area that is hard. Yeah, not seeing too much difference here otherwise.
Yeah. I think that's the thing about some of my experiences doing backwards compatibility on the Xbox, is that there are cases where those, and they've talked all about it, like, oh, we're going to do auto HDR, we're going to do this and that. A lot of my experiences running like super old games that are obviously not getting touched and patched and made to run natively on a Series X, like, I still come away from it going like, oh wow, that actually like runs better and loads faster. Like, I think they've certainly put seemingly more work into their backwards compatibility stuff.
Yeah, their systemic solution to just make everything run better is pretty rad. In a way that this console does not have. I do hope a lot more of these games get some work, but that might be a big ask for development teams trying to make new games.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of these games we should actually expect to. I would love to see Bloodborne get a patch just because it is such a fan favorite.
Totally, like, it just seems like the right thing to do.
Totally.
Honestly, and maybe if these just endlessly persistent rumors of Bloodborne coming to PC pan out, maybe that would be the right time to also do work for the PS5.
Just like a 4K 60, if it's feasible. It's what they've got going on under the hood. But like if it was possible to pop out a 4K 60 version of this game, like...
Well, I mean, all these damn From games, like, always tie the physics to the frame rate, don't they?
Yes.
So, like, getting it uncapped from 30
I mean, that's
just
what
breaks
I mean.
a billion things.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It may not be trivial work for them to do, but
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, super fast loads here, which is not the worst thing to have, but not much in the way of graphics from what I can see.
Yeah. Besides, if they just do that work and patch it, then they can't give it to Bluepoint and have them
That's true.
make another one for you to just buy again.
Oh god, man, it's like fucking. What is this game? 4 years old?
Yeah, that'd be
Might be pushing it.
That'd be a little stiff. That'd be a little stiff.
5 years, I think, but yeah. Anyway, this seems fine. Cool. I'm gonna say the best way to play Bloodborne currently, even if it's not that different. Let's see here. What else were we gonna take a look at? I've got Horizon Zero Dawn if we want to fire that up. I don't think anything's super different there, but we can check out load times if you want.
Yeah, sure. Let's see that real quick, and then I played. I had you install Destiny because I want you to check it out, because in my head, the PS4 Destiny experience, even just like getting to your character menus and stuff like that, took forever, and it seems faster.
Oh, you did try.
So
it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I just want another set of eyes on that. Because I've mostly been playing it on PC, and so I've kind of lost some perspective on what it does run like on a PS4 these days.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. I forgot this game had a performance mode. Okay. Well, we should take a look at that then.
Yeah.
Since we're here?
Yeah.
Shit. Let's see how this goes. God, that load is so much faster. Like, this game sticks in my mind as a game that had, like, it does one of these big initial loads and then kind of just never loads again.
Yeah.
And this initial load is like 2 minutes long or something in my memory. Maybe it's not quite that bad, but, like, this seems significantly
we're already
faster.
most of the way there, yeah.
But shit, I'm excited to see if this performance mode does anything now. Forgot that was in here.
Yeah, I guess this was coming out right around the same time as the Pro, right? Is that... That's how it was in my head. Is that right?
Yeah, like a handful of months later. Oh, wait.
This is a very early save.
Oh no, I must have forgotten to... Oh, that's a bummer. I could have sworn I must not have synced my save. That's unfortunate. If you want to wait like 30 seconds, I can do it. Might not be the worst idea to see this out in the open world.
Yeah, why don't you go get it?
Yeah, let's do that. Shouldn't take that long, surely.
Yeah. Okay, let's save data. The PS4 one. Enumerate all of your cloud saves rather than just be able to hit the option button on the tile at the front page and download it from there.
Dude, there was like 4 button presses or something.
Which worked great on the PS4. What a great way to... I mean, I still wish that... I'm still in slight disbelief that they did not look at the Xbox style solution for just never manage a save.
I know.
And go that route. Like, the idea that this still has all these same menus from PS4 is like, if we take a step back from how less usable some of these menus are on PS5, it is insane to me that this stuff hasn't changed.
And in some cases gotten worse, like we said, like on PS4, you could have grabbed these cloud saves in like, 10 seconds.
Instead of having to list every single game you've got in the cloud, scroll down to Horizon. Like it's really, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just strange. Like I just look at it and go like, well, why did this happen? And, maybe it's just that the UI came in extra hot, last minute, and they just need time. And like you were saying earlier, these things evolve, and so if this is still a problem in a year, that is maybe the time I will be like double, triple shocked.
Yeah. Pop one of the random ones open. Shipping a brand new console in a pandemic has got to be pretty damn hard, and maybe like features just had to get cut to make the release date.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be too hard on them, or we'd certainly give them some room to improve. Like,
yes.
Like if they come out after launch and be like, hey, this is PlayStation 5 is a living, evolving console, and we'll be tweaking things as necessary. Like, that would be enough for me. There's just this fear that like maybe they think it's perfect and they're never going to touch it again.
Yeah, right. if they're like, because it is so much like the under the hood, it is so much the PS4 interface.
Yeah.
Like once you get off that main screen and some of the other like flashier stuff that they've shown.
Yeah, all the system stuff. Except in some cases where, you know, like friends list and trophies are displayed in a less efficient way to me.
It's yes, worse.
Like, friends list is this weird like horizontal grid kind of thing now, and like trophies scroll to the right, meaning you can't.
And the grid is way bigger than the icons for the trophies or user icons, so they're like mostly empty. And you're like, why are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Like, I would have to double check, and we can't show it here again, but like, I want to say...
make sure you're set to performance, because you have reloaded a save. It might not...
Damn it. Oh.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Still capped at 30, looks like.
Yeah, and it looks like it maybe did turn off some effects and stuff. So I wonder if in this case you could do favor resolution and maybe it just wouldn't dip.
I guess I'm off to the ice rasps.
But you're also set to 1080.
Yeah, we're
so
on 1080
it might be a
here,
case where you're not going to get the full benefit of it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it is noticeable.
So that's a question for you. Now that you've had some time to bang around with both these consoles, how much closer would you say you are to purchasing a 4K television?
Somewhat. Like the whole HDMI 2.1 situation still not being ironed out is kind of still hanging me up. Like I didn't realize this until very recently. There are apparently still no good AV receivers on the market with all HDMI 2.0, or like any, apparently. Like I saw John from Digital Foundry was talking on Twitter about that. Like there kind of aren't any right now that can do it at all, really. So like I like running everything through a receiver and just having it all switched in one place. So
I wonder if, you know, because, and this is something I tried to set up with my TV before, but like ARC, that audio return channel where you, in theory, you hook things up to the TV and then the TV pipes the audio to your receiver. I wonder if you could go that way and have that work. I'm out of my depth on that stuff, honestly, because I could never get the ARC channel working on my existing setup, and so I just gave up.
Yeah, but, you totally can do that if you just want to run everything into the TV. It's just that, you know, like TVs generally have a lot less ports than a receiver would, so... And I mean, part of that is me just being a pack rat and insisting on having 6 consoles hooked up at all times.
I'm looking at 3, and then a separate input for... for my capture card that spits out. So I guess 4. I need 4 inputs.
What if I want to play Wind Waker HD sometime? I can just hit a button and do that.
Is that on Switch? What are we talking
about?
That's
a Wii U game.
Okay. Yeah. No, my Wii U is here in case I need to plug it in, but it's not actively plugged in.
I've still got an Xbox 360 hooked up.
You don't need that.
Just in case. Some games don't run. All right?
All right, yeah, I get it. You want to play Connectimals.
I cannot name an Xbox 360 game that does not work.
You want to play Connectimals, you want to play Connect Sports Rivals, and you know, you can't plug a Connect into an Xbox Series X. I understand.
It's true, you cannot. Should we check out Destiny? The time?
Let's look at Destiny.
This seems pretty much the same.
Yeah, this does.
To be expected from older games, I would say.
Yeah, it's, you know.
I mean, for my own part, I'm still on a plasma TV, and there are some advantages to plasma that I enjoy that would be loath to give up. But like, I'm definitely inching a little closer to a 4K at some point.
Next year or two, in some sense, I'm slightly envious of you because I'm sitting over here with a 2016 television that is 4K and it's OLED and the HDR looks tremendous and it's amazing television. I have been so happy. I guess that's the benefit. Is I have enjoyed years of this incredible television and it's been great, but now it's not good enough anymore.
Yep. Do you have one of the ones that has a 120 hertz panel but not ports that can do it?
I don't actually know if the panel is capable or not, but I definitely cannot do 120 hertz on this on this television.
There was a year or two of those LG OLEDs where if you were using like internal streaming apps, so like the Netflix or Hulu or whatever that's built into the TV, those can display 120 hertz because the panel can do it, but the HDMI ports can't carry that signal, so you can't do it with a video game console. I know, it sucks. Like that fact alone might have been the point where I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna wait until this stops being a mess.
Yeah.
Before I get one of these. Like that was So, okay, let's hop in here. I don't know. This one might be a little fuzzy because you're also dealing with connecting to servers.
Network stuff, definitely.
Who knows how long that might take, but that seemed pretty fast. That seemed very fast, actually.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is like some of the stuff comes up pretty damn quick now. There's still when you're trying to fly to a location, especially if you're matching into a Crucible match or something. Like there's definitely like bring up your character. Okay, there's a little time there, but that's still
seems better.
That still seems better to me.
I mean, the ultimate test, flying into the tower.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is that on your end, that frame drop?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, we are recording this the week before launch. Entirely possible that Bungie has a patch planned for this build.
Well, they said, because what the next expansion is coming out
the 10th, I believe.
The 10th. Okay, so we're right at launch for this stuff. But then
frame rate taking
are
a
they
hit
not
here.
actually upgrading the game to the native Series X and PS5 versions until December?
I believe that's the case. I think we can say that now. Pretty sure.
I know I have no inside knowledge. That's something I think I read on their blog.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I
believe
if I'm saying that, I did not hear that from someone.
Okay. I believe that is the case, which I was surprised by. I thought this was going to be next gen upgraded on day one of that new update or the new expansion. But
I imagine that's just one of those things. They probably were aiming for that, and shit happens.
Yeah. They're independent now. They've got considerations.
Yeah.
That seemed faster. Can't say 100% for sure, but that seemed
right. Yeah,
pretty speedy.
I guess that's my thing. Is that I just would say that this seems faster.
Yeah. That seems.
It's another case where like a game that people can, but I doubt they ever will, because it does let you access a cross-gen version. But like Watch Dogs Legion is a case where like those next-gen versions are not available to us as of this recording, and so. So I've been playing the PS4 version on the PS5, and it's a case where it's like, oh, this loads like way faster than. I guess I'd actually ever play it on a native PS4, but like going to like the Xbox One X and loading Watch Dogs there was another one of those cases of just like, all right, I'm gonna set this down and walk away, and that's another case where on the Series X, like even though probably no one will ever see that version running, because the next gen patch is going to hit day and date with the console. It loads a lot faster.
Yes, totally,
and looks a little sharper.
Yeah, I guess it's important to point out some of this is academic because like this is another case where a month from now there would kind of be no more PS4 on PS5 version of Destiny. There will just be a PS5 version.
So that's the thing with
yes,
and that's the debate is like which do you like more, because you can go back and install PS4 versions at will alongside the PS5 versions.
That is true. And switch back and forth if you prefer the PS4 version of a game for some reason.
Well, I mean, that's going to be a case for like No Man's Sky, where if you want to do VR,
right, you have to.
You have to have the PS4 version installed, and if you want it to look good, you need the PS5 version installed.
Yes.
And that's a bizarre thing. The Xbox does not support that particular use case, so I suspect if you wanted to run the old version, if you deliberately wanted to run like the old version of a game, or the I've been thinking about this as a result of some stuff that maybe we'll talk about in greater depth someday, because it doesn't actually matter. But it matters as a pre-release thing. As someone who wanted to play Watch Dogs Legion on a Series X and briefly couldn't, and then could again, it's been a strange road for that.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of this will not matter to us or anyone else in like 6 months probably.
Exactly, but there, I bet you could install the Xbox. Okay, take an Xbox One X, plug it into the internet, download Watch Dogs Legion onto an external hard drive hooked up to your Xbox One X, then unplug that drive, plug it into a Series X, and don't let it update.
Yes. See what happens.
There is a way you could do that, and so I'm saying like it's not a. That's not a widely used use case, but it is something that theoretically could happen. And this is dumb and outside the scope of this video for sure.
Yeah, but
it's
I mean,
been, again, it's been just like as we've been going through this process of playing these consoles pre-release, that's been something I've been spending time thinking about.
I mean, you know, in all honesty, if we didn't care about minutia like that, we wouldn't be in these jobs.
You're right.
That is the whole reason that I fucking there's nothing more exciting to me than exploring a new console interface, quite frankly.
Yep. Yeah.
And learning all those ins and outs and stuff like that. And some of it matters and some of it doesn't. But these load times are definitely faster now that I've actually been through a couple of them and watching them happen.
Yeah.
And again, it won't matter for this game. Oh god, that bug is still in here. Jeez. Yeah, these games will get updated soon, and these, I believe, on both consoles. Destiny 2 is 4K 60.
Yeah.
And all that fun stuff. So, but just as an example of like a notoriously slow to load game.
Yeah. Yeah. This and Avengers stood out to me as being like faster loading at the bare minimum. And Modern Warfare as well seemed to load a little bit faster, but that's another case where most of the time playing it, I'm, matchmaking, and so, the network is the bottleneck there. In fact, other people's slow loading is probably the bottleneck there.
Yeah.
You run into that on PC because it's crossplay. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I definitely will keep a smattering of that. So the last thing I want to check that we don't have set up here, but I do want to be able to speak to when we get to some podcast time and stuff, is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. The thing you want out of a Tony Hawk game is to be able to hit restart and have it restart instantaneously. Because that was a big part of what made those early games work, is because when you messed up, you could just hit pause, hit down, hit restart run, and go again. And the new game is not quite like that. The load times are certainly fast, but they could be faster. And so I have downloaded I moved that to the internal drive on the PS5 because I want to check that out and see what's up, see how well that performs.
Okay. But, am I the only one that does this? Oh god, where did they put it? Has it really been this long since I've played Destiny? Holy shit, this is pathetic. Where do they put the quit and log out options?
Oh, I do that. Yes, I definitely do. It's under gameplay. I do this.
Oh, they moved
I do this.
it, right. That is, yes.
I do this. I don't know.
I can't be the only one that logs out of Destiny before I close it.
I absolutely do that.
I don't know why. It's just some lingering insecurity that something will get corrupted if I don't do it right.
And it's all server side, so of course that wouldn't happen, but what if?
Yes. What if? What if I fade over to the thing one more time and just check my library? Did we hit everything we wanted to hit?
Yeah, I think that's all. That's everything we were looking to hit. And maybe once the console is out, we'll just get on the internet with it, and when we can show the UI and not have to pussyfoot around some of this stuff.
Yes.
And maybe take some requests or something if people want to see some other games.
Yeah, for sure. And we should have access to more, if not all, of the PS5 launch games by then. Hopefully.
Right. Yes.
In the coming days.
More quick looks to come of that stuff, I guess.
We will have more actual PS5 software to show off. And some of these games might get updated by then as well. Like I've got No Man's Sky installed on this PS5, and that's supposed to get a pretty good sounding update at some point.
Yeah, and there's stuff like Borderlands 3, like that patch isn't supposed to hit until the launch days of the consoles. So, like, that's not something we have access to just yet.
Yeah.
There's still an NBA game coming out native for both consoles.
Right. Do you have the Mamba edition?
I don't have any edition.
No.
I have put in a request, and they said, "What did I get on?"
Otherwise, you got to pay.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't have any of.
No, I
don't have any basketball.
Yes,
but
fire this up.
I forgot all about that aspect of this and the part where some of these games are $70 and all this other. Yeah. God.
Yep. New consoles.
Weird. This is one of the weirdest launches I have ever covered.
Probably the weirdest for me.
Probably the weirdest. You are probably right.
And a lot of that can't be helped just because of the state of the world.
Totally. It's and I don't mean to say it's bad or anything by any stretch. I'm pretty into what I've seen so far out of both machines. But yeah, it's just been strange on this side of things. But But a lot of that just, you know, every day a little more gets ironed out. And I think by the time these things hit the streets, it'll all be fine.
I think you're right.
I think. We'll see.
I think so. I'm just going to give her one more load here, see how it goes.
All right.
I was not reading any of that. Did I seriously just cancel out of all that? Good God,
I think
man.
so. You're going to overwrite your autosave slot.
I would not like to manually save. I am okay with not manually saving. See what happens when you assume. I didn't see a ton of difference in this one. This game had pretty long loads to begin with, and they seem maybe a little faster.
Yeah, and they issued that patch for the remaster of the first game.
Yeah.
That sped up the load times on a PS4.
That was a weird situation, yeah. Stuff got dramatically faster there.
Yeah. So maybe there'll be more like that to come. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah.
I would be surprised.
They've not indicated to us.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I would be kind of surprised if this game didn't get some kind of PS5 update. Because it's so new and because Naughty Dog is such a like tech-focused, like accomplished studio.
Right. Yeah.
It would be nice to see something here, but I don't know what actually, like. One of those games I might not actually want at 60 frames a second, which sounds weird, but like, I don't know.
You want the cinematic
like this game's
experience.
Got a real naturalistic look to it that I almost feel like would look a little strange. Like that. I mean, maybe an option
Joel couldn't get to his
would be
gun.
fine. But,
Were you scared?
this actually on the PS4 Pro, this game was a little framey in spots. I will say that.
Huh.
I'm not going to go track any of them down, but there were spots where the frame rate would chunk up pretty good on a Pro. So maybe some of that stuff's been ironed out. Pretty damn good looking game.
We talking infected?
Actually, like maybe this is a good point to end on because,
Non-fungal person.
like, put this game next to, say, a Knack
Guy was
or a Killzone Shadowfall. Like, it might as well be from a different console.
You got me beat.
You know, like,
You're right.
This is like one of the most technically accomplished studios in the industry on hardware they've been working with for like 7 years.
Right.
So like I can't even imagine where these like beastly new machines are going to be in even like 2-3 years from now.
Well, they'll be issuing a PlayStation 5 Pro and an Xbox Series XX, and you know, we'll do this all over again. And when the patches hit for that, you're going to be blown away.
Didn't seem like
I'm not going to believe how many primitives Knack turns into on that version.
Oh my God, they have
Triangles
completely rebuilt Knack from the ground
Squares
up.
everywhere, man. Trapezoids.
Knack is the ray tracing on every particle reflects multiple reflections per particle.
Yeah. Not a lot of Knack in the Astro, now that I think about it. It's probably a good time to stop.
All right.
That's been a look at PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we'll maybe take a look at some more of these if there is demand for it once we can just kind of go off with this thing. So, yeah, stay tuned for more PS5 stuff in the coming days. We'll see you soon.